let's understand the dream first. Dreams are what subconsciously is going on about everything that's happening in your conscious world. All right. Some things we are very aware about. Some things we are not very literally aware. So you really have to keep in mind what you've dreamt of and then see all the aspects of it. Do I want it? Do I desire it? Am I fearful of it? Is there any other indication that maybe I just like the pain that I'm getting, or I like to give pain to people? So where is it and what it is? And this sometimes we may not be able to do it on our own.
Having sexual dreams can be a common and normal part of human experience, but they can also cause difficulty in sleeping. Hi, I'm Urvashi Bisht, head psychologist at Hay and a practicing psychotherapist with more than 5 years of experience. Today, we will be discussing a topic that most people struggle to talk about. They may be hesitant to talk about, such as sexual dreams. Our guest today is Ms Niyatti N Shah. She's an experienced sexuality educator and a parenting coach with demonstrated history of working in the education awareness industry. Ms Niyatti is a trained sex educator and is also a global goodwill ambassador India for human rights advocates, sexual harassment, gender inclusions, and guilty-free parenting. There's a lot of intense work that she does in the field, but this is just to make it brief. We have talked a little about you, Niyatii. Thank you so much for taking out time. And I think this is a topic that I would be more interested. I think our viewers and listeners would be more interested in knowing about. So looking forward to what kind of role sex educator plays. I think we know about the kind of work you do, but a little bit from the perspective of a person who's not well aware of the profile. Can you talk a little about that, Niyatii?
Absolutely. So let me begin with a huge thank you, Urvashi, and thank you, Hey, for having me here and speaking about the topics that a lot of us don't want to talk about. Right. So a huge thank you for that. So as a sexuality educator, it all began by taking workshops and speaking to children and parents on safe and unsafe touch. From there on, it all graduated to those children then getting into the puberty phase, talking about puberty, talking about teenagers. And while I was doing these topics, we also realized that parents need a lot of hand-holding because nobody spoke about sex education. So even in my times, all the sex education we got were from either the commercial companies who were selling pads, or some teachers who actually thought that you need to know how to behave, you should be aware of certain people, but not proper sex education. So we are also not taught how to teach or how to talk. So with the children, we also started educating the parents and the teachers, all the stakeholders basically who are in the journey of teaching children and helping them grow safely and healthily. We are sexual beings and we all need some understanding about ourselves, whether it's health, whether it's mental health, whether it's behavior, whether it's culture and values, those kind of rights. What rights do we have? So as an educator, this is what I do. As a counselor, I talk to clients one-on-one. And of course, I've also authored 2 books on puberty, and a couple of books are on its way. So one of them is going to be on pornography. So when kids watch porn. So looking forward to that.
So I also know that you work with couples, Niyatii. What sort of issue types do couples bring? Because I think aligning it with our conversation today about sexual dreams. Does this issue type come often from couples? And how do we look at it? How do we understand sexual dream as a concern that a user would bring?
So couples usually have issues like, we would like to be more sexual, but we are not. So, and they can't place what the reason is. Like, I would want to, either they've not communicated with their partner, so they don't know how to tell their partner that I would like you to be more participative or have a little more sex than what we are having, or the physical closeness. Those are the kind of issues they bring in. A lot of case history that we take, and when we are questioning them, trying to figure out where it's all cropping from, we realize that a lot of it is rooted in the childhood or their first experiences with sex. Sexual dreams is something, yes, we have had clients who've had issues with sexual dreams, but they are just wondering majorly, like, like why am I dreaming these dreams, or when will they stop, or I am so young, why am I getting these dreams? Or parents come in to tell me that, Niyati, why is my young child as young as 12 and 13 having these dreams? So I would love to take this topic, and I think I've never spoken on this topic particularly. So I'm very happy to bring this on the table. So let's understand the dream first. Dreams are what subconsciously is going on about everything that's happening in your conscious world. All right. Some things we are very aware about, some things we are not very literally aware about. So, dreams kind of is like a torch, it gives you a guided path, like, okay, this is something you need to think about. This is something you need to look into. This is something you might want to do something about. Those kind of things is what dreams are. Now, is not a language, right? It's not Hindi or English, it's visuals. So the visual representation is what we have to decode. Like, what does this image mean? It might not literally tell you that, oh, you need to have more sex, or, oh, you need to heal yourself, nothing like that. But there will be flashes like somebody, examples if I have to give, somebody is dirty talking to you, or you've had dreams of a relative or some strangers, or you're getting sexual dreams again and again, or sometimes it may be animals. There could be so many different dreams, on sex that one might dream of.
Right.
If you start decoding it in the absolute sense, like if you're getting a BDSM dream and you think that, oh, I need to do that, it may not be like that. It may not be your desire. So you really have to keep in mind what you've dreamt of, and then see all the aspects of it. Do I want it? Do I desire it? Am I fearful of it? Is there any other indication that maybe I just like the pain that I'm getting, or I like to give pain to people? So where is it and what it is? And this, sometimes we may not be able to do it on our own.
Yes.
So when these dreams are coming to you, if they are just once in a while, then there is some message that is being, given to you. You look into it, you ponder upon it, you take help from experts, trying to understand what exactly it is. Another indication might be that you are sexually frustrated. You're not getting enough. You want more. So that is why you're dreaming about it again and again. It could be that you're missing your partner. Your partner is not with you. So that is one more reason you might be getting dreams. But these are all nice and sweet dreams that we don't mind getting. But then there could be dreams which could be disturbing.
Right.
So I've had clients who say that, I get dreams about my parents. What do I do? So at times like this, it is more of an indication, not that it is the parent, as I said earlier. It may not be the absolute dream, or it doesn't mean that's exactly what it is saying. At the same time, it could mean something like, you would prefer a father figure kind of a person, or a more mature person to be with you, a feminine energy that is missing from your life. Or if you're dreaming about your sister or your mother and you yourself are a female, you might want to look into whether you are a bi-curious, a bisexual, or a homosexual, or what are the different things that it can mean.
Can I say that these sexual dreams are a way of indicating that there's an underlying psychological issue? Because you said that we need not interpret it always literally of what we are seeing. So do
Right.
you assume like that for a person who's getting it, that there's something that needs to be addressed?
Sometimes it could be an indication to what's going on in your life. Now, psychologically, we can say that sexual frustration does come under psychology, right? It's something that you are looking into, something that it's affecting you some way in your mental. See, everything is connected at the end of the day. It may be a body, we're talking about physical, self, but at the same time, it's emotional, it's mental, it's social, it's spiritual, it's all connected at the end of the day. So yes, there are some dreams that may indicate a psychological issue. It could mean that, okay, I'm constantly dreaming about this thing. Is it disturbing me, or is it helping me? Is there something I need to check into, whether am I okay or am I not, even mentally? So for example, if I am dreaming about strangers and different men again and again and again.
Right.
I need to see, even though I am getting sex from my married life, from my husband, is there something that I'm not happy with? Is there something that I'm not okay with? Is there something that is affecting me in spite of me getting it? Now, these are the areas where a psychologist will be able to help, right? Sometimes it could simply mean, I didn't want it that way. I'm getting my orgasms, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not connected to my partner emotionally, even though I'm getting my sex, but I'm not emotionally connected. I'm looking for intimacy somewhere else. So I'm connecting the mental state or the psychological state with the sexual understanding about it, right? Now,
Right.
sexual is also physical, sexual is also psychological, sexual is also emotional.
Yes. Yeah. We are talking about they can be psychological, they can be issue of emotional intimacy, difference between physical intimacy and emotional intimacy. How do a person decide that they need to go to a sex educator? Do they need to go to a clinical psychologist or a psychotherapist? So how specifically sex educator is going to help me in this concern?
So let me say this, sex educators mainly are here to educate about the topics they have chosen to. I would say you need to go to a counselor who is, see now for me, I am a sex educator, sexuality educator, but at the same time, I do have a counseling degree. So I'm combining the two and counseling couples or parents only for this topic. Some counselors are very, they've chosen their niche, right? So I am choosing to counsel only on sexuality. So that makes me a sexuality counselor. There's no term as such, legal term as such, but that is how I put it. Educators specifically take a topic and either are taking a workshop. They don't counsel. They don't counsel. No, they can help you by having a chat with you. They can help you by decoding certain things to you. They can help you by answering your questions, but they might not be able to take you deeper into the psychology of it unless they have really studied their field well. So therapists, counselors, psychologists, I won't say psychiatrist right now, but in case if it has to do with intense emotions or intense mental disturbance, then somewhere you might need a psychiatrist who may prescribe some medicines to you. So if you have somebody who you already know, go to them and figure it out. That do I need to look into somebody who excels in sexology or somebody who's a psychologist? They may not advertise themselves as sexologists or sexuality counselors or therapists, but they still will be doing this job. It's part of psychology at the end of the day. So you can always, so you can always ask people around, or sometimes, I mean, Hey has a list of people, so they can come here and look at who is here, who's available, what is their experience, what are the tags and topics they've been listed, is something that attracts you or fits into your profile or what you're looking for, and then choose the person correctly. You still may need to jump a few experts, and you may not completely feel this is it for me sometimes. And that's okay. And that's okay. You have to resonate with the expert you are with. You have to feel comfortable and you have to feel understood. So sometimes you have to jump.
This is a very important point, Niyatii, that you brought up. We have to feel comfortable, right? For a person to open up about issues like, sexual dreams or intimacy with my partner, if I'm experiencing a difficulty, I need to develop that sort of rapport. And I feel how confidently you talk about the issue type, since you're you come with that background in training, the clarity, I think, also helps the client reassure them that we are with the right person. When we use the right person, we ourselves as professionals are not hesitant to talk about it and use some other, replace it with some other terminologies, and we don't use the right terms. I think that also makes a difference when the client is coming to us, because psychoeducation is a very important component of counseling when you're working with clients. So I think, yes, that's a very important point for us to consider, that how they can feel more comfortable probably coming to somebody like you, where they can talk about these issue types very openly and get the right information and take it back. lot of learning, and I think looking forward to more interesting conversations with you on something similar, more to know about the work that you do. And I think there's a lot that the users and clients are looking forward to work with you as well on our platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Urvashi, one more time.
Thank you.